I was put in a position where I had no other choice but to be strong. Today, I'm going to be super transparent and vulnerable. I'm going to tell you guys how I became a survivor. Y'all don't know how long it took me to get this video done. But today, as I would have told y'all in the intro, I am going to tell you guys how I became a survivor, what made me the survivor I am today. So, as I may have mentioned in past videos, I had breast cancer. I had it when I was the age of 26. I found the lump when I was the age of 26, and after finding that lump, my life changed. I don't know whether to say for the better. I'm thinking for the better. It changed my life for the better. I learned to appreciate life a lot more and live every day to the fullest. But let me tell y'all, life before that lump was good, you know. I wouldn't say that, life was peaches and cream, because we all have our ups and downs throughout life. Nobody has a perfect life. But I had an okay job, awesome friends, of course, family and everybody right there. Everything was Gucci. Everything was good. Like, I couldn't really complain, even though I did sometimes. Lord forgive me. But life was lifing. But like I said, in the month of December of 2019, I found the lump under my arm. And I found it in the shower while doing a self-check. That's why I stretched to y'all to please do them self-checks, because it really could save your life. And if you know others who, should do it, then you need to tell them. But anyways, let me tell y'all. I found this lump, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, no way. There's no way. How? I don't have history of it in my family. And I just don't know. I was pretty much, very much in shock. And I decided not to tell anyone. I didn't. However, I did not keep entirely quiet. I then booked a physical to the doctor to go get everything checked. Because that was like a wake-up call. Like, Paultira, you need to go see the doctor. You need to go get a physical. And so I did just that. But I couldn't have the physical until January, which was 2020. So I went to the doctor, did the physical, did everything that you need to do in a physical. And just as we were about to finish, I mentioned to her, oh, I found a lump under my arm, and I would love for you to check it to see if you think I should go further on with getting it, looked at. So she did. She felt underneath my arm and what's not, and she was like, Paultira, I do not like the size of this lump underneath your arm. It's real. It's just a little too big for my comfort. And that is when I got scared. I got scared. She's like, okay, we're actually just starting ultrasound appointments, so you're going to be one of the first to get that ultrasound appointment. And I booked that appointment, and it wasn't until February I had that ultrasound appointment. And the nurse, she started asking me all kind of questions, and that just made me more nervous. And at that point, I had someone with me, one of my friends. She came with me because at that point, I had told my friends, because one day I just broke down, and I was like, I needed to tell someone because I'm going to go crazy. And at that point, one of my friends came with me to do the ultrasound, and she was in the office with me. And I was watching her face as the lady was doing the ultrasound around my breast, and I did not like the facial expressions she was giving. She was not giving. So when the nurse started asking me if I have history of breast cancer in my family, if I ever had lumps in my breast before, I'm like, nope. Like, every answer to the questions was no, because it never happened to me before. So like, I lay in there and I was nervous as heck. So being on the island, you have to wait a little bit to get results, because my results had to go to another island, which was Nassau, New Providence, to the hospital. And then I had to wait about a week. So they told me to come back the following Friday. And they said, if I don't get a call, then everything cool. If I do get a call, then, sis, you need to come in and get checked. So, y'all, Friday came. I was dreading Friday. Listen, I was dreading Friday. And I got a call. I got the call. And let me tell y'all, I got the call. She was like, Paultira, we need you. The receptionist I was talking to at first, Paultira, we need you to come in. I'm like, shoot, this is not good news. So I went in. I went by myself at this point, because I felt like I was going to break down. Like, I legit felt like I was going to break down. So I just went by myself, even though I should have told one of my friends to come with me, because all of my friends at that point, like, most of them worked at the same job. So like, they were easily accessed. If I wasn't going on my way to call them to come, they were right there. But I didn't tell them. I went there and went in the doctor's office, and she sat me down. I was there sitting on the bed like, shoots, what's about to happen? So she comes in there. Listen, y'all, she had this look on her face. Depression instantly hit me. She didn't even say nothing to me. And she sat down on a little chair. And she's like, Paultira, I'm so sorry. I don't have good news for you today. And I'm like, okay, just tell me. Just let me know. We really taking too long. Because at that point, I got impatient. And so she is like, the lump is really just like the size of it is really nerve-wracking. So we are going to refer you to Nassau. And the main hospitals are in Nassau. So I had to go. And get it tested. See what I'm saying? Like, further tested. So further tested meaning biopsy. So let me tell you all. And by the way, coming from the island to go to Nassau to go to the hospital, that's a whole other situation. But anyways, at that point, it was at that point when I called my mother. And my mother was already in Nassau on her own business. And the doctor called her. And y'all, I know this is not the way to give people bad news, but my mother was not on the island, so she had to tell us somehow. Because mommy was mad. She's like, you don't just call people and give bad news and not in person. And I'm like, y'all, my mommy don't play. Anyways, so she called my mommy, she told my mommy, and listen, my mommy went and called one of my aunts and told her, I need you to go to the clinic to Tara because she dealing with so-and-so or whatever. So one of my aunties, she came and she started to talk to me, and she started to, you know, motivate me and try to get me keep me in good spirits and let me know that this is not the end. You just gotta do what you gotta do. Like her and the doctor, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, my doctor, home in Eleuthera, best ever. I love her so much. She got me mentally prepared for every step I had to take to getting this done. And my aunt, she just spoke life into me, babe. Like legit, she just spoke life into me. And listen, my mommy wasn't having it. She was like, well, you need to get on the last flight smoking out of Eleuthera. But the thing is, I couldn't get out that evening, so I went the following morning. Got into Nassau. First thing I had to do was go to a clinic, to another clinic, a government clinic, because my local clinic home is a private clinic. But I couldn't go to no private clinic in Nassau. I had to get referred to a local government clinic, and they had to then check me, and they was like, man, we don't think this cancerous. This ain't nothing to worry about. Everybody is trying to keep me in good spirits. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And I appreciated that so much. She's like, but I'm gonna, you know, she had to do what she gotta do. She gotta write the referral for me to go to the hospital, which was Princess Margaret Hospital. I did that. I mean, I waited for that, me and my mom. And y'all, keep in mind, I went to this biopsy in February as well. And I did it in February, and I didn't get my results back until May. Okay, Princess Margaret Hospital. Okay. All right. Listen, that was the red flag number one. So everybody was like, well, dear, when are you gonna get your results back? Like March, April. And I had my therapist at the time. She was more of like a work therapist for like everybody at work, but she worked like especially closer to me after she found out what was going on. And at that point, she became my personal therapist, and it took her to get through, like, it was on a who you know type basis to get my results. And she knew people, I guess taught people in the hospital, and I was able to get my results not until May. Now let me tell y'all, the months following May, I was in a lot of freaking pain, like a lot of pain. My breast, my right one, was in a lot of pain, and day after day after day, I would just ignore it. Like it got to the point where when I woke up, I just knew I was gonna be in pain all day, and I still went to work, and I just carried on, you know, as if everything was cool. And one day she texted me and she's like, you ain't got your results back yet. And y'all, keep in mind, this thing, this lump, this growing in me. And at that point, the lump, like, it got so big, it moved from under my arm into my breast. So it was like this big ball right here. But you couldn't, like, physically see it. You had to literally, like, feel it. So we in lockdown now. COVID is here. COVID is ramping. The Bahamas was on freaking lockdown. I talking about nobody could go outside, no planes flying. I was back in Luther at this point. No planes flying, no boats carrying passengers, just freight. And I'm like, okay, but let me tell y'all. The doctor called me, right? And he was like, is this Paul T. Johnson? And I'm like, yes. Who am I speaking with? Dr. So-and-so. So he's like, I'm calling to give you your biopsy results. I'm sorry to tell you, but it did come back cancerous. So this me on the phone. Okay. So he's like, yeah, so we need you to come into Nassau because you have to have an emergency surgery. I still on the phone. I'm like, okay. Literally, I only told him okay to everything he was telling me because a part of me, a piece of me knew I was already, a part of me, actually the whole of me knew it was cancerous. See what I'm saying? Because even before I went in to get my results from the very beginning, to get my results to get referred to Nassau, I already had a talk with God. And I was like, God, I really and honestly feel like this is what it seems to be. And I'm ready to take care of it and do what I have to do. And I am going to keep you first. And I'm just going to go along with everything that you want me to do. Like, God, take full control of me, my body, everything. Like, at that point, I just gave it all up to God. Like, I knew it's nothing. If I stress about it, if I worry about it, if I freak out, I'm only going to make things worse. And listen, faith was strong. Faith still strong. Faith was extra strong. But anyways, I sat in the corner of my room. And I was just there, sitting in the corner. And I was quiet for a couple minutes. I cried, I cried. Not too long, but I cried. I got it out. And then I went to tell my mom. She was talking to my cousin. And them two having a jolly old conversation in there. And I went to go and ruin the whole freaking mood. Anyways, I go in there. I stopped at her door. I was like, Mommy, I got my results. And so she's like, okay. By the look on your face, I can already tell it ain't good. I said, no, it came back positive for cancer. So, my mommy, I ain't like, when she worried, she's get that aggressive sometimes. She's get that aggressive. And she's like, okay, we got to get on this right now. And I went and I told my best friend. And same thing with her, they got into action real fast. And there was nothing I could do to actually say get off the island because I had to go to Nassau to get the surgery done. I had to go to the main hospital. So my best friend, y'all know my best friend, Colleen, her and her mom actually got in touch with the police officers and was in touch with the member of parliament for South and Central Luther at the time. And they got me a letter to get on the mailboat because that's the only thing I could get on. The planes were not going anywhere. Unless it was a private something, it wasn't going. It wasn't happening for the government. Anyway, so they got me a letter to go on the freaking mailboat. Me and my mom. Nobody else could come. So we had to give them that letter and they had to talk to the doctor. So all of that had to happen for me to get on this boat. And we had to tell them it was an emergency. And of course, when people hear the word cancer, they automatically go into panic mode. So my mom and I, we got on the boat a few days later. Because that did not take just a couple hours. We had to wait on stuff. We got on the boat. While I was on the boat, I was in good spirits. I can't even lie to y'all. I was nervous, yes, because it was my first time going under the knife. I was more fearful of that than anything. Not even the fact that, oh girl, you just got told you got cancer. Anyways, so we got to Nassau, tried to settle in. They called me the following day, and they were like, the following day? I think it was, yeah, the following day. And they were like, okay, we need you to come in this evening. That morning, doctor called me and he was like, okay, you can come to the hospital at about 4 o'clock and I'll meet you down, because the hospital was on lockdown. And I tell y'all, listen, the whole Bahamas was on lockdown. Everywhere was on lockdown. You had to have some type of, you had to have some type of written government something to get into government places. And so he was like, I will meet you downstairs. Listen, I had the best doctors in the world. God really carried me through this. I cannot tell y'all no lie. He met me and my mom at the lobby, and he walked us through security, and he walked us through the lobby up to the ward where I had to be admitted. So my mom, she came up with me, and he took me in the exam room, and he touched me up a little bit, you know. He had to feel the lump, and he was like, oh no, this really got huge. I was like, you don't say. Y'all took forever to give me the freaking results. It had time to grow and do its thing. So he was like, we were just gonna remove the lump. They was just gonna do a lumpectomy, but at that point, he was like, we gotta do a mastectomy, which is the removal of the breast itself, the entire breast. So at that point, I was like, well, mother sick, in Bahamian terms. Well, wow, like wow. And so I cried. And I then called my cousin, she is a doctor, but she's an animal doctor, but she knows stuff. Like, she's super smart. And so my mom was like, let's call this cousin and let's ask her, because she really valued her opinion and I really valued her opinion. So I had to, like, we had to call her, and she spoke to the doctor and she asked all the questions that I should know, because at that point I couldn't even talk. My mommy was just choked up. So she's like, T, you got to do what you got to do. You want to live? You got to take the breast off. So got admitted that evening. I was in there. Y'all, let me tell y'all, my first time in the hospital being admitted, I was chilling. I prayed. I spoke to my pastor and his wife and all my friends and my mom. Like, everybody had me in good spirits. But even my doctor, he was like, listen, in here it could get crazy, so if you need one little pill to put you to sleep, just let me know. So I got that little pill, because listen, y'all, I was on a public ward, so I was with a whole bunch of other women who were very much in pain and was not afraid to scream and shout when they needed the nurse. So that happened, and I went to sleep. Next morning, 5 o'clock a.m., surgery time. They stripped me. Y'all, it was cold. They stripped me. I went and I had to wait for my mom to bring my port that they were going to put in for chemo purposes. And yeah, I waited for a good, and my doctors was late too, but everything cool. I had to wait for a good hour. My surgery was supposed to start at like 9. I think it started like, not hour, half hour. My surgery started like 9:30. So my anesthesiologist, like, one of my friends, she gave me a scripture to read the night before. And you know, my anesthesiologist, Kim, she had this mask on. And she had the same scripture where it was found on her mask. And I was like, this is a sign. God got me. Like, God got me. Like, I wasn't nervous at all. I went into that surgery with smiles. And when they put me on that table and I look up and all I saw was the light. It wasn't 2 seconds, I was out. I was out. That anesthesia was strong as heck. It was strong. But yeah, I did that. Next couple hours, my surgery was over at 3. Listen, y'all, my surgery lasted longer than it was supposed to. And everybody thought something went wrong. Everybody's freaking out, calling my phone, freaking the frig out. And it took me a while to wake up as well. I tell you, they had me dose up. So after that, I went back. They rolled me back to my room. Not my room, but the ward. And they had to do x-rays and stuff and, stuff, after surgery stuff. My doctor came to me and he was like, that lump was huge. Listen to me, you are one blessed girl. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I thank you. It was huge. I think they said the size of a freaking orange. Yeah, he said that, of the size of a freaking orange. So, yeah. Next day, I was in the hospital for a total of 4 days. So the next day, I got up. I was determined. I got up and I went to the bathroom. And when the nurses saw me, they was like, Johnson, that's you? I said, yes. Y'all, I need to get out of this hospital. Y'all, I did not eat that hospital food for the entire 4 days I was in there. Just so y'all know. Horrible. Anyway, skipping all of that, recovery from the surgery was hard. It was painful. It was a lot. I will show you guys pictures. Don't worry, I will show you guys pictures of everything. It was a lot. It was painful. It was rough. But my mom took good care of me. I was still in Nassau and I had to stay to a place where I could be taken care of and no type of distractions whatsoever. So we stayed at the Cancer Society in Nassau. By the way, for anybody who goes to Nassau and needs some place to stay and is doing chemo or recovering from a surgery, go check them out. The Cancer Society in Nassau, Bahamas. They will take you in from the out islands. They will take you in. I don't know what the rules and stuff is now. I don't know if it changed, but check them out. Definitely a place you'd want to go if you want a place without distractions. But yeah, we went there. I met some awesome people who I'm still friends with up to this day. We lost some, and that hurt. That really hurt. But yeah, I recovered there. And then after, in the month of July, we're still in 2020. In the month of July, I started chemotherapy. Chemotherapy. Let me tell y'all, chemo, that's another story. Listen, y'all, chemotherapy was that I felt like it was gonna be the end of me. I did 4 rounds. I cannot remember how many sessions per round, but that first round, I just wanted it to be over. I had the best nurses. Again, like my team from beginning to end was everything. But yeah, I did chemo. I met some awesome, strong people. Most were elderly, to be honest, but you know them. They're gonna talk and they're gonna speak life into you, definitely. I did my chemo treatments. I went through hell and back. And chemo is nothing to play with. Like, it really isn't. I pretty much, like, my mouth got badly irritated. I was unable to eat anything for a long time. I did lose some weight. Not a lot, but I did lose some weight. Like, I'm gonna show y'all in the picture. Y'all would definitely see the difference. I was drinking a lot of liquids. Listen, my friends during the recovery and chemo and everything thereafter, my friends, like, nobody could ever replace my friends. And I'm gonna shout y'all out. Colleen, bestie. My friends and family, definitely friends and family. But like, it never stopped. The support never stopped up to this day. Colleen, Malika, Maisie, Megan, Candira, Abby, Precious. Y'all, I don't forget nobody. Yvonne, who has sadly left us. A whole lot more. I'm gonna show y'all pictures. They supported me in ways. My church family, Cynthia, Tony. Listen, Miss Flo, babe, y'all the real OGs. My aunties, my uncles, like everybody went. If it wasn't them sending me clothes, if it wasn't them sending me money, like paying for my appointments sometimes, and y'all, listen to me. After I finished chemo, I had to do radiation as well. I don't remember how many rounds I did, but God sent a freaking angel. God sent an angel. I'm not calling anybody's name because she definitely wanted to stay anonymous. I had to pay a fee of $5,000 in order to stop my radiation. And I had a GoFundMe. But the GoFundMe, it was going, but it was more helping me with my chemotherapy bills and the medications I needed during chemotherapy. But when I had to find that $5,000, God sent an angel who sent me. And she didn't even put it on GoFundMe. She sent me the $5,000 straight to my account. Listen to me. I tell y'all no lie. Listen, give it all to God. Give it all to God. Like, real talk, give it all to God. And because that's what I did. Like, I never went a day complaining about anything. Anything. Everything was just given to me. You know what I mean? I never stressed about anything. I never, like, complained or was needing anything. I had to wear certain clothing because of the surgery. I had to eat, of course, certain foods, drink certain stuff. Well, I was only drinking water. Y'all, that's the clearest my face ever been. Listen, if I sit here and I call names of all those who helped and supported me, that's the ones off the top of my head, because there's a lot more. My aunties, my cousins, listen, my cousin Chris, listen, oh Lord, like, I love all of y'all to the death. And nobody ever turned on me, ever. Like, up to this day, if I still need something, they gonna try their best to help and support me. And I thank God for putting them in my life. Like, of course, being friends with people who also put God first. My family put God first in everything we do as a family. And my daddy, my mommy, my Grammy, my prayer warrior, listen. Oh man, listen, my whole journey, was smooth. It was smooth. I went through the emotions. I went through every emotion there was. I went through every emotion there is. Every emotion. But I never questioned God. I never questioned God. I had to go through what I had to go through. But I know for a fact that that was not my way out. That was really not my way out. God got me here for a reason. My mommy just told me that. My mommy was like, because back home, dengue, whatever, how you pronounce it, that came back. And I had dengue as well. And I beat that because a lot of people died from it as well. I had to go in the hospital for dengue. Well, not hospital, but the clinic. I had to go on IV drips for an entire day. I thought I was going to die then. But no, I had that. I had COVID. And I had cancer. Listen, you could beat anything, you know. God is the ultimate healer. He will get you through anything. You just need to believe, have faith, pray, talk to him. That's my bestie. talk to him, he will get you through it. Definitely. I don't know if y'all hearing all this wind, but it's getting crazy. But yeah, that is my journey. And from the year, like, I finished everything in the year 2021. I rang the bell June 15th, 2021. Cancer free, baby. Cancer free. Survivor, baby. I love it. I love it here. Of course, you gotta do checkups, and I have like medications that I am on. Y'all saw in my much earlier videos, I have to take this monthly shot. Yeah, I have to take this monthly shot, blah, blah, blah. But that's not bad at all. It's just really expensive. Really, really expensive. Yeah, it's just really expensive. But that's it. Yeah, that's my story. That's really my story. And y'all, listen. Whoever's going through it, whoever knows somebody going through it, tell them they could beat it. I know I've inspired a few people. I've learned that I've inspired a few people back home who was afraid to go to the doctor, to go and get checked out. And it turned out one of them ended up having stage 4 breast cancer. And guess what? She's still here up to this day. And that was in 2021 or 2020. I think 2021. Anyhow, one of them years. She's still here. She went through hell with treatment, but she's still here. She's still here. Y'all have no idea. Y'all really have no idea. Of course, you have to go through it in order to experience what I'm talking about, or whatever other illness you felt was going to take you out. You just got to have faith. And that's what I did. And I am still here today, being able to share the story with others, being able to inspire others. You just got to do what you got to do. Don't stress about it. Just do what you have to do. See what I'm saying? But that's all I got for y'all today. That's all I got to tell y'all today. Life after all of that has been great. I moved here to Canada, and life is just beginning again for me. A whole new country. Listen, my life, listen, yeah. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. But I thank God nonetheless. He has made me, and still in the process of making me, the strong person that I feel I am. You know? So, I'm that girl. I'm one of those girls. I'm a survivor. And yes, y'all, this, Rachel, this, my left side, my right side, this fake. This is a prosthetic that was bought for me by one of my aunts. Prosthetic, but it look real, don't it? Listen, y'all, the doctors tell me I do it good. Nobody will never know that this fake. You see what they saying? But I can't lie to y'all. Sometimes I do miss being able to wear certain things. Because I just want to be sexy too. I mean, I still can be, but certain things I still just want to wear, but I can't because of the whole prosthetic breasts and everything. So, yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Life is crazy. It's really crazy. But we got to keep pushing. Definitely.